Damn. Cooler and a flyer too.
Yo, what's good? How y'all feeling out there? It may be chilly outside, but the Atlanta Hawks, they don't feel none of it. I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks that took down the streaking Milwaukee Bucks 119 to 104. Milwaukee had the longest active winning streak with 7 games, but the Atlanta Hawks, they took good care of that. And since the Atlanta Hawks have become fully healthy, which was back on November 18th, the Hawks are now 6-3 in their last 9 games. They're a game above 500 since the early part of the season, and also against wins against Cleveland twice, Sacramento, and now the Milwaukee Bucks. Ladies and gentlemen, your Hawks are on a 5-game win streak and getting national attention. Some national eyes are kind of on them. But to help me talk about the Atlanta Hawks today, I got my man Debo Vibes in the building. Tell him what's up, Debo.
Chris Tipmore, what's going on with you, man? Hey, it's a lovely time to be an Atlanta Hawks fan, like you touched on. We're on this big time 5-game winning streak, and we're at 500 right now, right? What 11
We're
11
12
right
and
now?
11 now.
12 and 11, so right over. So yeah, happy times to be a Hawks fan. We got the Lakers coming in town tomorrow, followed by the Nuggets. But I definitely got my eyes set on something that's much deserved, and which is the NBA Cup, which will be facing the Knicks. And that's going to be a big time game right there. So we looked at things that the Hawks have been doing these past couple of weeks, this past week, and the future schedule that we got going on. It's going to be fun to be a Hawks fan, but definitely last night we definitely showed improvement against those Milwaukee Bucks up there, man. Stopping that winning streak and extending our winning streak to 5 games itself, bro.
Yes, sir. And like I said, man, the Hawks are getting national attention. And again, in this 5-game win streak, again, beating Cleveland twice and Milwaukee, the Hawks are second in defense in the last 5 games. 16 steals against the Milwaukee, and 5 of them was with Bogdanovich.
Yes.
Bogey.
Yeah, Bogey.
And so, Atlanta ranks number 2 in steals, and last year they were 16th. Getting out of the running, they were 30 and 12 when that's the fast break points. That's what they meant by getting out and running. And that's something that the Hawks do well, getting out in transition. And of course, we're always winning like the points in the paint as well. And also the bench points, also 3rd in bench points and 4th in 3-point percentage, man. That's the Atlanta Hawks right now. And shout out to Bobby Marks, NBA Insider, as well, for taking a look and realizing what the Hawks are doing, man. Atlanta, again. What you got?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, speaking of points in the paint, man, I'm glad you brought that up, because it's something that we've been dominated in, particularly the last 2 games against New Orleans. The points in the paint, we beat them 74 to 54, and last night we beat Milwaukee 64 to 34. So we're seeing what we can do as far as hosting the physicality in there. So I'm glad you brought that up. Definitely, man.
Yeah. Well, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. The Hawks have been winning the points in the paint for majority of the games. I think it's only maybe like 1 or 2 games realistically that the Hawks have not won the points in the paint. Golden State would be one of them that I know for a fact, but I believe it was like maybe 1 more game, if that they haven't won points in the paint. The Hawks are taking it to the paint. It's just, statistically, we're not a good 3-point shooting team, but lately we've been able to at least do things in other areas like transition, winning that area last night 30 to 12. That's been something that's been able to help the Hawks, and the Hawks also have been able to weather storms, as they were down by 10 points to Milwaukee at one point in time, but they were able to once again claw their way back into it. They're playing within themselves. They're still growing, learning how to win right now. The bench points also, that's something else that the Hawks have been winning, 50 to 31 last night against the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, man, you love to see that. And the points off turnovers, the Hawks have won that battle as well, 19 to 14, and they limit their turnovers 11 to 18, for the Milwaukee Bucks. So they're doing other things, they're as a formula for women in basketball, and you love to see it, man. The Hawks being able to win different ways. We're going to get into like the player grades and everything like that. But just ultimately, man, what did you like about this game, just from a team standpoint, what you're seeing for the Atlanta Hawks?
Hey, the magic number, bro. The magic number in the first half, 20 assists in the first half, man. And we look at the pass distribution that they were doing. That's exactly something that we expected them to do as a healthy team. Now you got a fully healthy team, particularly, man. Yo, man, shout out to Jalen Johnson, man, who was just passing dimes last night, man. He did a couple of good alley oops. He did one to Onyeka that unfortunately Onyeka missed, but it was a good time for Jalen Johnson to home to come back home to Milwaukee and show and get the home crowd a real good show. But as far as
Mhm.
last night, like I said, man, the assist that's what I loved right there. Good ball distribution, not just from Trey Young, but like I said, you have from Jalen. You also had it from Bogey. And speaking of Bogey, man. I love the way Bowie can come in and dominate a game in a short period of time. Last night he came into the game in the second quarter and he had 13 of his 14 points in that one quarter, including was it three threes I believe he had in the second quarter. Yeah, about
Yeah,
three of them. And
he came
yeah,
in on fire. Seriously, he
yeah,
definitely
he
did.
came in on fire. He came in on fire. So that's one of the main things I'm enjoying seeing these guys. But last night, like I said, if I can think about anything, it'll be the pass distribution they had between each other, being a full team effort, and those 20 assists in the first half definitely shined.
Yeah, man. Like I'm glad you mentioned Bogey. We'll transition here honestly into the player stats and player grades here for
Mhm.
the Atlanta Hawks, man. All right. So, I mean, since you already mentioned Bogey's name, I won't mind starting with Bogdanovich. He had 20 excuse me, 25 minutes, being 5 for 8 from the field, including those 3 for 5 from three,
Right.
of 62% from the field, 60% from 3 point line. The man got you 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and also 5 steals. I believe that's also, saying just real quick, due to the Dyson Daniels effect, that man, his energy is infectious and it's infecting these Atlanta Hawks in a good way. But back to Bogey. Again, this was like I think Bogey's best output since he's been, back. He's had good games, but I feel like as far as like him just feeling good, I think this was like one of his best games. I know after Monday night, he didn't have like a good shooting night that night. So after that Monday night, he was putting up shots and getting in
Right.
rhythm. And obviously, like I feel like it kind of helped his confidence and hopefully it'll help him more so like going forward. Um, like just different. Just the effort from Bogey last night was just different on both ends
Right.
of the floor. It felt good. It felt like he's getting his legs more so under him. I think on the court maybe his passing was decent. I
Mhm.
mean Bogey's just not no killer passer or anything like that.
He had
Everybody
five
made
assists.
yeah, exactly. I'm saying everybody made mistakes last night, so I'm not going to nitpick at it. But just from the statistical standpoint, what would you grade Bogdanovich night last night?
Well, just from the work that he did and the time that he could do it, like you said, he was in there for 25 minutes.
Mhm.
Did some
Almost
great
20.
thing. Almost 26 minutes off
Mhm.
the bench. I would give him a B. I would give him a B. Um, you know, like I said, it's a little, some of the passes that he threw was kind of off, but the main thing I saw that he did was he added spark when they needed it. When the first quarter, when the Hawks were down 16-6, they were down that those 10 points right there. They needed that spark, and then when Bogey came in, well, not just Bogey, but also when Hunter came in, that added that
Mhm.
spark the team needed, and that team went on that run. I think they went to like a 32-19 run or something like that to actually get back into the game and actually start getting into double digits. But going back to Bogey, his performance that he had last night, particularly with the 3 point shots, he was 3 for 5. Then I'll give him a B.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna give him a little higher than that, man, just because seeing the effort on both ends for Bogey. I mean, 5 steals from Bogey.
Yeah, that's
So I'm
true.
gonna push him up just a little higher to at least about like I'm gonna give him an A-, because
Okay, that's
also
fair.
he
That's
didn't
fair.
turn because he did not because also he didn't turn the ball over much. He only had 2 turnovers, and he also didn't foul really much either. He only had 2 fouls. So those things, 5 steals from Bogey, being able to come in, get into rhythm, give the Hawks 15 big points off the bench, and be a factor in this game against a team that was on a 7 game win streak. Let's not like take anything away from Milwaukee. They were coming in hot and
Right, absolutely.
the Hawks had to play great basketball in order to do this. And honestly, if Giannis doesn't get all those god darn going, my goodness, I ain't
Those free throws, yeah, bro.
bro,
What was up with that?
like what is
Those,
going on? Like The
Yeah.
Hawks could have won this game by like 30.
For those damn free throws. Yeah, it's like, come on. And speaking of that, man, real briefly, and even Bob Rappin said last night, the time this man takes on a free throw line is pathetic. It's ridiculous, and the league's not going to do anything about it, clearly. But this man took forever, and then to the point where I was laughing when Bob Rappin said, "By the time this man's done, my clothes will be out of style." I mean, because he takes that much, he takes that
Yo,
long,
come on,
he takes that
yeah,
long on the free throw line. So
Bob is great.
yeah, yeah.
Bob is great. Bob is great. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get into Dyson Daniels, but yeah, man, Bogey. Like I said, man, I don't even know if Bogey even had 5 steals in his life. I don't know. I mean, I would have to go fact check that, but it's still just to see that last night and just for him to be in the right place at the right time again, off the bench for 25 minutes and 39 seconds. So I mean, at the end of the day, I gotta give Bogey just a little bit higher grade. And
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
yeah, that's so. I mean, and I may be being a little bit of a homer on that. I don't know. I mean, but at the end of the day, I got to go with that. Next, I'm going to go with our number 1 draft pick,
Okay.
Zachary Richarche.
Richarche.
Who honestly, he had been getting like over 20 minutes the last few games. This game, he only got 18. Zachary, he was 5 for 11, 45%. 50% from 3 as he hit 2 out of 4. The man also got you a total of 4 rebounds, 3 on the offensive end. The man also got you 12 points. And for those who care about the plus minus, he was +1, and Bogey was +19, by the way, for those who care about the plus and minus and everything. But yeah, 12 points for Richarche. He did have 3 fouls. But what I'm saying, what do you think about Zachary Richarche? What grade would you give?
I would give Zachary Richarche. I mean, like you touched on, he was 5 for 11. He did the main thing I realized that a couple of times he took some ill-advised shots. One was a 3-point shot that he missed out on a couple of times, man. But he did make 2 of them. But when I think about Richarche, man, I think about his physical. Well, to answer your question, his grade, I'll give him a B minus, man. I'll give him a B minus. Like I said, the 5 for 11, some of the ill-advised shots that he was making, but he didn't have any turnovers though. He was one of the Hawks that had no turnovers in the game. And there was a couple of times under the basket, man, where he was giving Brook Lopez some fits. And I like to see the physicality that he did under there, man, just as far as the rebound and everything's concerned. But like I said, if anything, about Richarche, he is a young player, but I know he's rookie. But at the same time, he did play professionally before he was here in the NBA in France. So we can consider that. But he is a rookie, 5 for 11, 45%, 18 minutes. I give him about a B minus. Like I said, we just need, in my opinion, just sharpen up a little bit on shot selection, being patient, and not throwing so many shots up and being erratic. But like I said, like I touched on, no turnovers, 12 points. No, and four what was it? He had 4 rebounds. So it's not bad. That's not a bad outing for someone who's only out there for about a little under 19 minutes.
Yeah, he had a strong first half, man. I believe he scored like 9 points, had 2 rebounds, hit a couple of good shots, but it was that second half he really couldn't get it going. I believe he was like 1 of 7 from shooting in the second half. Had, like you said, had some ill-advised shots. I think he struggled with Brook Lopez's length as well. I know Trey had passed him the ball, he got blocked. Another time he tried to body him, and it didn't work out for him. And ultimately, I mean, his defense, he was fine. He got into foul trouble early, though. Again, like I said, he had 3 fouls total. And I think, the fouls and trying to mix it up with Lopez, I just feel like that kind of like affected the game of Zachary Richarche in this game. I'm gonna give him a C plus. I'll give him a C plus for it because again, like he came out strong, but he just couldn't get it together in the second half. But Zach's gonna be fine. Come on, man. I mean, Zach versus Brook Lopez. I don't ever want to see that matchup constant.
No.
So especially when we're talking about in the paint or anything. So I can't be too hard on Zach at all, but I'll give him a C plus as far as his performance last night. Next gentleman we're going to move on to is one of the hottest men in the NBA, hottest players in the NBA right now, and I'm talking about Mr. Jalen Johnson.
Ice
Yes,
man,
sir. Yeah,
man,
Mr.
white
Jalen
hype,
Johnson.
man,
Yeah,
hot.
you already know. Had his dad in the stands last night. Very proud of him. Jalen Johnson was 10 for 19 last night. Yet again, another game shooting over 50% from the field. Now he missed both of his threes, but it's okay. He made all three of his foul shots as well. He had 13 rebounds, 10 of those on the defensive end, so taking
Yes, sir.
possessions away from the Bucks. He
Yes,
also
sir.
had 5 assists, so that means he's passing the ball. He got 2 steals again. Dyson Daniels effect. I'm sorry. He had 1 block. He did have 3 turnovers. At the end of the day, JJ is still working his way, you know what I'm saying, being that point forward. It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? He's continuing to hone his skills though. He only had 1 foul, so that means he was defending without fouling a lot. And the
Right.
man ended up with 23 points.
Yes, sir.
Please give Jalen Johnson a grade here.
Man, come on. You already know. Anything less than an A will be we wouldn't be watching the same game, man. I'll give him an A all day. He led them in minutes out there. He was out there for over 40 minutes. Led them in points with the 23 points. He had 13 rebounds. And like I said, man, his pass distribution I was just loving. And he had one of, if not the most thunderous dunks I've ever seen, where he posterized the hell out of Brook Lopez, man.
See, like he had
And
won a game, don't he?
man, but that one last night, he took Lopez's soul, man. But like I touched on, man, he's finally coming on his own, and the whole fact that he's doing this, man, while keeping it close, he's still, with a pass distribution, man. Like he did have the turnovers, but I gotta get a turnovers, like kind of like I can kind of like, saying you know, not really get on him about that, man. For the mere fact, this man was out there for over 40 minutes. Right there for 40
Mhm.
minutes, only turning the ball over 3 times, and you did the work
He
that
played
you
20
did.
minutes out of everybody.
Exactly, man. So yeah, an A all day, and on top of that, man, the man showed out his hometown, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, man. So with that being
Indeed.
said, I gotta give him an A, man.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm going definitely giving JJ an A. He's getting an A from me. I mean, again, he's 20 and 10, another 20 and 10 game. I knew coming into the season, JJ could be a 20 and 10 guy on a consistent basis. He will be that. He
Right.
will. That's that. I already know that's going to be the what is going to be the final stats at the end of the season. JJ is going to be a 20 and 10 guy. The Hawks already locked him up. And that's really like that contract, especially if he becomes an all-star this year, cheap as heck for Atlanta.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
was it
Absolute
5
steal.
years? Was it 5 years?
Like
One
150. So I'm just
150.
like,
Yeah. Oh
I'm
man,
like,
yeah.
come
It's
on.
not gonna do anything to a cap at all. And like you
Bro.
said, man, if he becomes the gentleman that we think he's gonna become, oh my God, you want to talk about a cap friendly contract?
He's on the way. He's on the way. I'm telling you. But another reason why I'm giving JJ a A. If you look at his shot chart, right?
Mhm.
The man only had 1 shot. Excuse me, only made 1 shot that was outside the restricted area.
Okay.
You know, so this man, first of all, his rebounding is excellent. He's solid in the passing game. The defense, you know what I'm saying, is good. And he's defending without fouling. Like I said, you already know he got the athleticism. He
Hmm.
already has the transition offense. But the man is really like, you know what I'm saying, being punishable in this restricted area, man. And I love it, man, because that's where I want JJ. I
Right.
dominate right down in there, get downhill. You see when he gets downhill, look
No
out.
one's gonna stop him, bro. Look out. Look out. And he showed it last night. If anybody can remember it from last night, like I said, it's definitely Brook Lopez. You probably still remember about it like right now, bro. If anybody's gonna remember the downhill movement this man has, it showed last night to one Brook Lopez. But like you
Hey,
touched on, man, he's doing everything that we thought he could do eventually, man. Now he's totally healthy and he's out there, man. Yeah. A lot of all stars for that young man.
yeah, man. And that's what we're hoping for here in the city of ATL.
Yes,
Next,
sir.
I'm gonna move on down to the 23-minute man last night. CC Clint Capella, y'all.
Yes,
Clint
sir.
Capella was 4 for 10, which is 40%. Of course, he didn't have any threes, does he ever? He didn't
No.
even have to go to the foul line last night. Didn't even have to worry about that. I guess Giannis took his and his own. But he did have 17 rebounds last night. 11 of those on the defensive end. Again, taking away possessions. He did have 4 fouls though, because again, you couldn't look at Giannis the wrong way. Steve Holman was saying that himself.
Right.
You look at Giannis the wrong way, you
You're
get
gonna get
fouled.
fouled. Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
goodness, it was crazy, man. But 8
Yeah.
points for CC at the end of the day, man. He did have 1 assist, 1 steal as well. He had a block. CC, he missed a couple again, man. He had a couple of bunnies that he missed.
He did, bro. Yeah.
That's something
A
that he
couple of
does.
gimmies he missed, bro.
He did a couple, a couple tips, a couple lightly contested shots. I mean, at the end of the day, it was still Brook Lopez who he was battling, another guy who was going to battle. At the end of the day, Brook Lopez is going to battle, right? But at the end of the day, like those 17 rebounds against like Giannis, and I have to do with Giannis and Brook still being able to snatch those 17 boards, I believe that was huge.
Right.
Very huge for the Atlanta Hawks. And like honestly, in rebounds, ultimately the Hawks had 54. So 17 of those going to Clint Capella, 13 of those going to Jalen Johnson. So Clint Capella, what would you give Clint Capella as far as like a grade?
Well, I'm gonna give him the rebounds, man. The man's an enforcer under the basket, man. So, but like I said, the shots that he was missing last night, man, was kind of like it drove you crazy because a lot of those shots that man was missing, he's like right there. It's like sometimes like, man, just throw it down and do something like that. Just do something, man. I'll give him a B minus, man. I think I just give him a B minus but like I said, the rebounds that he was doing was paramount. Let me ask you a question though, man. Reference to the rebounds that we were doing, because I just thought about something, man. A lot of rebounds that we were doing, I'm not going to say that they were gimmies, but as far as like the defensive rebounds, the Bucks, man, they rank. I was seeing that they rank almost last as far as like offensive rebounds. And I saw it last night because a lot of times when they throw a ball up there, by the time the ball either it missed, a lot of guys just went back to the other side of the court without even trying to rebound the ball, which means that we were there to actually rebound it. So not saying that it's an inflated stat. I'm just saying that the Buccaneers. That's why I say the Buccaneers, bro. Nah, wrong sport. I don't even want to talk about the other team right now, but I'm talking about the fact that the Hawks right now, man. But yeah, the Bucks do a lot of times, man. They run back the other side of the court, which allows us to defensive rebounds. But it's a stat nonetheless, and he had 17 of them boys. But like I said, he could have done a lot.
To your
better,
credit, I mean, out of the 54 rebounds of the Hawks, 39 of them were defensive. So I mean, you're not crazy for feeling like that, and it's only 8 out of 40 of the rebounds that Milwaukee was able to corral was on the offensive.
Offensively. So just saying. However, it's effective nonetheless, though. You know what I mean? But he was out there for 23 minutes. But like I said, B minus, man, I think that's serviceable for him. Could have done better. He will do better. Right.
No problem with that, man. Well, we got to move on to a guy that some people love him. Oh, my grade. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm about to move on, and I didn't give a man a grade. I'm going C plus. I'm gonna go C plus for CC. I want to give him a B minus. Honestly, that B minus is not bad at all because you could have gave him that with no problem. But C plus, man, I just need him to make him a little bit more around the rim, baby. I
feel you. Trust me, I feel you. Yeah, because I was like, bro, what you doing, man? Like, you got the body, you got everything. Do something. And yeah, I feel you. I feel you, man. Bro. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go C plus for CC, man. But again, B minus is not bad at all. Moving on, like I said, some people love him. Well, most people love him. Some people, they don't love him so much. Mr. Dyson Daniels, 31 minutes on the floor last night. He was 3 for 7. He was 3 for 7. 1 for 2 from 3-point line. He made both of his free throws. Also, the man Dyson Daniels gave you 2 rebounds, which is not normal. I wouldn't say that's normal. Right. 6 assists though, and got you 3 steals. So of course, I'm pretty sure he probably had about 10 deflections. And so, right. So that's just something that the man does. He still was a +8. By the way, just to get this out the way, no Hawk last night was in the minus. So overall for the game, should I say. And
Absolutely.
yeah. But back to Dyson, he did end up with 6 fouls. He fouled out for the first
He
time
fouled out.
last.
He fouled
Yes,
out.
so he did foul out, and he had 9 points. What would you say for Mr. Dyson Daniels last night?
Man, I mean, I know that lately we've been, enamored by his ability to do some things on the offense, man. But before we proceed, man, correct me if I'm wrong. Dyson Daniels received the Defensive Player of the Month award. Was that him?
Yes, sir.
All right, the inaugural Defensive Player of the Month award. So shout out to the Great Barrier Thief, man. You know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
much overdue. And this man leading the league by steals by a huge margin. He came into the game last night with 61. The closest guy behind him was like in the 40s or something like that,
Like
or 30s.
40s, like I believe Tyree Henson, Tyree Eason, I think,
Mhm.
and Jalen Williams, I believe, for the Thunder.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. But back to last night though. He did foul out a game. 31 minutes played, 3 for 7. Like I touched on a little bit ago, the man came here for defense. I'm not going to knock him for the offensive prowess or non-prowess he did last night. 6 steals in the game, and like I said, a great barrier thief. Um, 9 points, 0 turnovers though. So uh, I'll go ahead. I'll give him B plus. I'll give him a B plus. And the reason I'm gonna give him B plus, when someone fouls out of the game, sometimes it could be one or two things. It could be he just don't know what the hell he doing, or he giving too much effort. Last night I put on the category of he gave a lot of effort. Like I said, he did touch on. I mean, he did foul out of the game, but he hung in there for 31 minutes. So I'll give him a B plus last night, man.
yeah. I'm gonna give him the B minus, and honestly, it's only because he actually fouled out. Did I feel like the
Mhm.
whistles were fair? No,
No, not whatsoever.
no. I
No,
don't feel like the whistles were fair. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I don't feel like the whistles were fair.
you should
But
say it.
at the end of the day, he did still foul out. I still got to take that into a great accountability. I still have to do that. Offensively, I mean, we didn't bring him here for offense, but at the end of the day, he has had great offensive games. He's
Mhm.
taken a great leap from, it's a significant leap from 4 points a game to 13 points a game this season so far. But in this particular game, offensively, he just didn't have it.
Right.
Um, he started off, decent. He made good plays everywhere else. Offensively, he just didn't have it. Defensively, of course, he's always awesome. Again, he did foul out though, so I'm gonna give him a B minus. You really could go with a C plus, depending on who you ask. But B minus for me for Dyson Daniels last night and his performance. That's what I'm gonna have. That's what
You
I'm gonna
know,
go with.
man, you swayed me, bro. You swayed me. I was
I ain't
thinking
sway
about
you, did it?
yeah. Let me go more toward B. I said B plus. Let me go. I ain't going to go the B minus route. I'm going to give him a solid B,
Okay.
man. You sway because you're right, man. He wasn't here for office, but he could have done better. And the fact that he did foul out a game, but however,
Right.
we both agree those fouls he had were ticky tack, and to say the least.
They were
And
bad.
that's being generous. That's being nice. So
Yes, yes. We can definitely agree on that for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Next player, man, we got though is Trey Young. We got
Oh,
Trey Young here, man. Our leader, man, our all-star here, man. Trey Young, who played 35 minutes last night. He was 6 for 19 and 619 on these guys, man. 31% from the field. He was 0 for 9 for
oh, for
3.
9 for 3, bro.
0 for 9. 5 of 6 from the free throw line. The man did have 4 rebounds for you, gave you 7 assists. I mean, Trey gonna get his assists. I mean, it wasn't the normal, but at the end of the day, he still got you 7 assists,
Yeah.
4 turnovers, 3
Ugh,
fouls.
ugh.
One of those fouls that he had was ticky tack. But again, we got ticky tack whistles last night at the end of the day. But he still finished with 17 points. Again, +8 for those who care about that. What would you say for Mr. Ice Trey Young?
I'm gonna have to give him. Ooh, I'm gonna have to give him a C plus, man. Um,
It's fair. It's fair.
Here's the thing about it. We all know that something's going on with Trey Young right now, as
Oh,
far as
he's
like his
not
offense. Yeah,
100%.
not
I
not
think
not
Trey is about
whatsoever.
I think Trey is about 70%. If I had to be fair, maybe 65, 70% for real, for real. He doesn't even have like that same burst like
No,
that I'm used to seeing from Trey Young right now. I think he's playing
right.
and I think he's playing through injuries, but I think it's not bad enough to where he can't play. Then plus on top of that, one game that he did sit out, we got fined $100K for it. So I mean,
Which was Joe.
yeah, man. At the end of the day, Trey, he's trying to play out there. I think that it possibly may be that Achilles member that he had. It's a possibility that still may be an issue right now. I would love to have the ability to be able to rest Trey a little bit more, but I don't think the Hawks have that ability to really do that right now. With the backups of Kobe Buffkin and good Lord, I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. My Lord,
not Garrison Matthews.
No. You know our backup point guard, man, who did so well, Keaton Wallace.
Okay.
Yeah, Keaton Wallace and everything. So I don't think we have a significant depth like that to really just have Trey miss games. But I don't think Trey is 100% at all. I don't think he's even close to 80%, to be honest. He's been dealing, like I say, with that Achilles injury, and that's where I'm going to credit it at, because I don't see that same burst. He's still fast. He's still quick. He's still Trey. He's still going to go out there. But it is tough.
Last night, man, I'm not going to say for the first time, but last night when I saw him throwing up shots, I'm like, nah, man, don't do that, Trey. Don't, because you don't got it right now. Something going on with you where you can't make that shot, and he wasn't making the shots. 0 for 9, bro. And, I understand a couple of those were like from way, way, way out, because he was trying to, have a little, one's deep 3-point shots, man. But a lot of those shots he was taking, man, it's like kind of cringe. It's like you don't have the burst that you used to have. And because you don't have that burst, the actual shots that you could make, you're not able to make right now. Because like you said, right now, to say he's 70%, that'd be generous, though. I think that he might be worse than that. My concern about Trey Young, man, is like as the season goes on, if he continues to play on his injured leg, man, that won't bode well for us. Because like you touched on a little bit ago, man, if anything were to happen to him, hey, Kobe Buffkin, okay. All right, but no, sir. Yeah, however, I will say this much, man. If anything was happening to Trey, and hopefully not, like I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, we're talking about last night's game, but it is an injury. If anything were to happen to him, we do have individuals on the team, especially that Jalen Johnson, goddamn, who can actually, help him out and be there, just to, help the team out. But as far as last night, 6 for 19, 4 turnovers. I gotta get my boy Trey. Man. Yeah. I'm gonna give a C minus, man. I'm gonna give a C minus.
Okay. Hey, that again, like I said, that's fair. I'm saying we want to be fair at the end of the day, and not try to be too homery. Right. But I feel like honestly, about 2 of those shots were pretty forced. One that I can remember distinctively is probably like it was like under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. He got trapped in the corner or something like that, and then he shot up the 3-pointer.
He threw it up, yeah.
I mean, it may be some people may call that ticky tack, but I just like, nah, I ain't like that. I didn't like that at all. Trey Young for me, man, that's tough.
He thinks that he can do it, but I mean, like I said, mentally he thinks he can do it, but until he gets totally healthy, he's not gonna be able to make those shots like he used to, bro.
Yeah. Also, I mean, in the second half, I know he only had like 3 assists. Again, he's only playing about, I would say about 70%. But at the end of the day, like real quick, when was the last time that there's never been a time. What the heck am I talking about? There's never been a time to where the Hawks, Trey Young would shoot 0 for 9 anywhere, and we would win the game. So, like that's credit to, to the team and the coaching, front office, etc. But yeah, man, Trey Young, boy.
I got a follow-up question after when you give your grade. I got a follow-up question, bro.
Man, you know what? Okay, from a leader standpoint, from being able to just rally the guys, Dang, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I gotta give Trey a C minus myself. I can't go no higher than that, and I really could go lower, but I can't go no higher than C minus for Trey. Then I'm being fair. I mean, you're out there playing and you're doing the best that you can. He's playing good basketball overall. I think a couple shots, like I said, forced. He didn't have to. Maybe a couple turnovers that didn't have to be turnovers. I know it was like 4. I think he had 4 in the first half
Right,
and
he did.
everything like that. I think I think he had 4 all in the first half. So in the second half, he cleaned it up a lot, but those turnovers still, like got to just cut it down a little bit more because a couple of them those was forced. So yeah, I'm gonna go C- for Trey. But overall, I think Trey Young is playing some good basketball, some good team ball, starting to trust within his teammates even more. Some
Right.
people think he's being too passive. I just think he's starting to believe in his teammates and trust the team that was put in place, so for him to utilize.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see him passing the ball a little bit more because what people don't realize, Trey, he likes to pass the ball more so than shoot the ball. He can score, so I don't think he's a shooter. I think Trey is a scorer. And I'm saying, and then just like I think honestly, he's more closer to Steve Nash than I would say Steph Curry.
Mm.
And I love Trey, but I'm
Right.
saying I feel like he has undeniable passing ability that just for his size, at the end of the day, it's incredible what he can do with the basketball at his size. And
Right.
so he can put the ball in the basket as well. We have already seen it when Trey is focusing on scoring and gets hot. Trey can put up 40, 50 points. You know what I'm saying? He really can.
No
But
doubt.
how many wins do we have? So that's
Right.
another thing you got to think about too. But let's get back on track real quick because we're almost done with this. We're back. We're on the 6th man of the year candidate right here. Yeah, I already don't let it
Yes,
out the bag,
sir.
man. It's
Yes, sir.
DeAndre Hunter right here, man. DeAndre Hunter, 28 minutes last night, 6 for 13, 46% from the field. Not his normal night actually, because normally DeAndre shoots about 50% or anywhere, but either way it goes, anywhere between 40 and 50%. So I mean, still 46% from the field, not bad. It was different seeing him shoot only 2 for 7 from 3. That was 28%. But of course,
Right.
knocking down those free throws, Dre gonna do that.
Yes, sir.
5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Yeah, Drake had 3 steals.
Yeah.
Only 2 fouls as well. So he defended without fouling in his limited amount of time coming off the bench. Well, coming off the bench, 20 minutes. Excuse me,
No
20
turn and
points.
no turnovers.
Yeah, again, no turnover. So yes, DeAndre Hunter, a guy who has just been on one anyway, for the Atlanta Hawks, and he's healthy.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, credit
That part exactly,
that
bro.
part. He's healthy. So what would you give DeAndre Hunter, man?
Man, you said he's gonna be a six man of the year for NBA. I can't see anyone else, man. But I like to call him, man, our sixth starter. To be honest with you, man, because this
Yeah, I
man
like
can really he can start. I mean, he likes, but I love the fact that Quin Snyder is bring him off the bench, man. Like I said, allows man, and just by a couple of interviews I've seen, he likes that position. It gives the opportunity to see what's going on out there in the court. You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, go, whether it be late in the first or second quarter, go out there and do his thing, man. But to answer your question, I give him a B plus, man. He did a great job last night. But like you touched on, man, 2 for 7 from a 3. That was kind of that wasn't good right there. But when he went to the game, and I think he went to the game after the Bucks were on that run where they were up 16-6. I think that's when he got in the game. Somewhere between that time, I think. But for him to add that spark and get a team to where they need to be, that's what I loved about it. Like I said, this man's a starter. He's a start. DeAndre Hunter's a starter. But like I said, right now, the way the team's chemistry is set up, the starting five that we have right now is perfect. You know what I'm saying? And not just my opinion, but of course in Coach Snyder's opinion. But DeAndre Hunter for last night, other than the 3-point shots that he was doing, he was 6 for 6 from the line. 46%, like you touched on, usually he's like, in the 50s or more, but no turnovers, 20 points, bro. Yeah, give me a B plus for him, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, Dre is like a 6 starter. We already know he has starter capabilities. It's just the health. That's the only thing for me that has ever really been for with Dre more than anything else. It's always just been his health because, like, again, we get teased with great games from Dre on both ends of the floor. The next thing you know, he's not available. So,
right.
I said, of course, your best ability is your availability. So,
yes, sir. Right.
at the end of the day, right now, Dre is healthy. He's able to come off the bench and give you great numbers. He had his defense is impactful, especially last night. He was in the passing lanes. I think 2 of his steals, I believe, was in the passing lane.
We're in passing lane,
And
correct? Yep.
right, and I remember the strip that they double teamed that he got to steal. But and the rebounding, man, DeAndre Hunter's rebounding, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that was a knock on him, like, for his position. He didn't rebound for his position. And I mean, he's getting you more rebounds. Again, all defensive rebounds last night, none on the offensive end, but it wasn't needed for him. Ultimately, I think I'm going to give DeAndre Hunter. I'm gonna give him an A- because of the 2 for 7 from 3.
Okay.
But other than that, absolutely solid performance. And honestly, if he probably was like half from 3, I probably just gave him an A+. Honestly.
Do you like the way that Quin Snyder and staff are using DeAndre Hunter? Do you see them using him in that particular way for the duration of the season, or you think he might have a couple of starts, or you think that the way he's being utilized as it stands right now is just perfect? Is just perfect for him and a team chemistry?
I know, shoot, man. I know we quick to say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And really, honestly, until we see a team that can just be like, okay, we're just going to shut down DeAndre Hunter because we know that he's coming off of the second unit. Until we see a team just like sell out to that and just try to see if we can, get other teams to do it. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing, DeAndre and Trey on the floor more. I wouldn't mind seeing, but at the end of the day, like I said, the chemistry right now just working so well. I guess I was just thinking about, just like how it used to be, Trey being a playmaker, Dre being a guy who can get a shot off. He going to get to that mid range. He going to get to his spots and find his shot. And it's just like almost like, okay, so defend both of them. But at the end of the day, like I said, the chemistry is working well. Dre is coming off the bench. But I mean, when you look at the Atlanta Hawks and you look at our bench, you got Bogey too.
Yes.
But I guess the argument for that would be, oh well, Bogey, if he has a bad night and then they shut down Dre, then what is your second unit? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, right now it's working. But do I think Dre will ultimately be a starter again? I think it all depends. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think they like Zach, starting the games for now. Of course, that was kind of like by default after Dre went out. But honestly, you want to keep Dre healthy. So if it's keep bringing him off the bench and being the best thing for Dre, then I think you got to go with that.
It looks like right now. It looks like right now, bro, the only way to keep him healthy is off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like Dre's knees were actually kind of like damaged from wear and tear from years past, or probably coming back early. The team needs you, and you were the only defensive stopper that we had. Another thing that's beneficial for Dre this year is the fact that he doesn't have to do it all by himself. That was something that I realized when we first got Dyson Daniels. I was like, oh, well, DeAndre Hunter should benefit because it's not just him anymore. And you've seen that, and Dre's defense has been better. It's been impactful. Even if he's not getting the steals like Dyson, he's still being effective on defense. Remember that last play against the Kings when Dyson Daniels stripped the ball away from De'Aaron Fox? Well, that doesn't happen if Dre doesn't play defense as well. So,
good point.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, but yeah, that's what I'm going to go with, A- for DeAndre Hunter. And next, moving into Onyeka Okongwu, who 24 minutes, he was 50% from the field, 5 of 10, 1 of 3 from the three-point line. Quick, I really don't like Onyeka shooting threes.
It should never happen here. It shouldn't happen.
I understand. I get it, though. And everything, but free throws, he was 2 of 3. Rebounds, I would say the man had 6 because 4 of them was on the defensive end, of course, kind of catering more so to, I guess, your point, Debo. 2 steals from Onyeka, 3 fouls. He didn't have any turnovers. He did have a block, and he ended with 13 points for you off the bench. So, what would you say for Onyeka?
Onyeka double O, he didn't do anything great. He didn't do anything bad. So, he played 24 minutes, no turnovers. He did have a block, like, a couple of steals for him. 50% from the field. I mean, like, anytime I see Onyeka, behind the arc, about to shoot up. I'm like, nah, please don't. But he does it. He was 1 for 3 last night but he made one. He wasn't 0 for 3. He was 1 for 3. He didn't make one. So in a limited time that he was out there, I would call him serviceable. He didn't do anything to hurt us, and he didn't do anything as far as like, oh wow, that's a great thing he did. The one thing I noticed that he did not do. I touched a little bit ago about a pass distribution from Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson threw a magnificent pass to him, to the point where he could like just take it in, and he missed it. So that's a missed opportunity right there. And as a matter of fact, I think it was one of the threes that I think it was a 3-point shot. He was going to miss it. He was wide open. He missed it. But like I touched on a little bit ago, for what he did out there for the 24 minutes he was out there, 50% from the field, I'll give him a B.
Okay.
I didn't see him just do anything. I mean, he did a good job out there. He didn't do bad out there. He didn't turn the ball over, and he got some steals out there. So I'll give him a B plus, bro.
Okay, B plus. All right. Well, I know it was kind of like a tale of two halves. I know he had like 7 points in the first half, 3 rebounds. Now I think that was only in like 9 minutes. I think he did that in. But I mean, he was efficient, looked good. I know the second half he had about 6 points, a couple rebounds, like a steal and whatnot. But I know what I do know for a fact is he was 2 for 6 from shooting. But he did great things around the rim. He made I would say he made Giannis, I said, uncomfortable at times. Rebounding was okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 6 rebounds, you really want, more of that from Onyeka, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna like tear him down about it. I'm gonna give Onyeka a B minus. I'm gonna give him a B minus.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Kobe Buffkin. We have reached Kobe Buffkin, the last player that played for the Atlanta Hawks last night. Kobe Buffkin in 12 minutes, 37 seconds. He was 1 for 5 from the field, 20%. He did not shoot any threes at all, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about free throws. I mean, Giannis had more free throws than the Atlanta Hawks last night anyway. So, but
in the first half, I mean, this is it.
I hate to keep coming back to that, but it's just like, my goodness. 1 rebound for Kobe Buffkin, 2 assists, 1 foul, no turnovers. I mean, he only played 12 minutes, but he only gave you 2 points as well. What would you say for Mr. Kobe Buffkin?
I'll give him a C plus, bro. I mean, I'll give him a C plus, bro. I mean, 1 for 5 from the field. He's done. I mean, he's proven that once he got there, he can be effective. But I see a lot of zeros across the board for this individual, man. And like, he did have the 1 offensive rebound. His only rebound. He did have 2 assists though. He had 2 assists. 2 assists. Zero turnovers, but there's only so much you can do in a 12-minute time frame, bro. You know what I mean? But the time that he was out there, if you're out there for 12 minutes and you're shooting up 5 shots, you got to be effective in what you're doing. And for him to only be one out of 5 in 12 minutes, that's just that you have to capitalize on time that you're out there. And to me, that wasn't done. That's the main thing I'm looking at right now, man. 1 for 5. He didn't go to the line. Did he go to? No, he didn't go to the line. No 3-point shots, like you said. So he didn't bother doing that. So all the shots that he was making was, inside the perimeter. So he wasn't even trying to make a 3-point shot. So that 1 for 5, that stands out more than anything. For his 2 points, yeah, C plus, bro.
Yeah, I'm giving Kobe Buffkin a D plus. D plus. I know. I mean, he just didn't look like he didn't look decent last night. Honestly, I mean, defense was okay.
C minus. Sorry, yeah, C minus, bro. I'm sorry, I said C minus.
I'm going D plus. I know he got blocked a couple times in the fourth quarter. That layup that he missed on the fast break, you got to make that. Right. Yeah, you got to make that. I mean, again, he didn't get a chance to shoot anything from the 3-point line. It's just offensively, he just didn't give you really anything. Everything else was just like kind of like, it was. But Kobe is coming along. I know it's a process, with him and everything to So I mean, this was a bad game. I know he just had a great game the other night. So I mean, it was a bad game. But I'm gonna go D plus for Kobe Buffkin, man. That's what I'm at the roll with.
Very
But
fair. Very fair.
got Dixon Way in here, man. I gotta do a little cleanup here, man. I got a little Dixon Way here. See what he
All right.
talking about. Dre growth is due to not having to play against the best player on defense since we have Dyson, so he can use his energy as the number one scorer on the second unit, and that's absolutely true. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have to do it by himself. He can focus his energy on other things, and it's great. He also said that Dre is a starter in the role off the bench due to the upgrades and at the small forward shooting guard with Zach and Dyson. Hey,
Right.
he be killing me with this one though. Toyeka is a good backup center, but nothing more IMO due to him always giving up too many offensive rebounds in the game. Next one, he says Kobe equals just a dude. So he's a Jad. He's not even a Jag. He's a Jad. Okay, glad that he's getting some NBA burn, but yeah, I mean, and that's what we're saying. I mean, Kobe Buffkin, it just, it's still a growing process, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't good.
To give Kobe Buffkin a little credit, we're seeing a small sample size. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
However, bro, like you said, with the whole layup debacle that he had and going 1 for 5, bro, we gotta see more.
Quickly before we get into before we close and getting ready to close out the show, man, real quick, front office credit, man. I want to go ahead and because I really didn't know about saying like what direction the front office was really just going with some moves they made. I just I was optimistic when I seen that we made the trade for Dyson Daniels, Larry Nance. I was like, okay, it looks like we're trying to set a foundation. We got Rishi Shea, and right now with the lineup that the Hawks have, the team that the Hawks have, they are at least formidable, and it's something to be optimistic about. And so I just got to give the front office their credit where it's due right now. Quin Snyder right now has the Hawks on a 5-game win streak. I think last time we seen something like that, it was Nate McMillan as the coach. So credit to Quin and what he's doing, the lineups that he has, the Hawks playing, how well he has them playing right now. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give credit when it's due, and I'm gonna jump on your head when it's due. I'm fair. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to take the time out to give a shout out to Landry Fields, the moves that he's made.
Absolutely, man.
The shout out to Quin Snyder for right now for having the Hawks playing well. The Hawks are playing together. They're a young team, overall, and they're still learning to win. But they're having some gutsy wins, some quality wins. More importantly, again against some of the top NBA seeds, and they're right now the 5th seed. So. Who's seen that for the Atlanta Hawks? You know what I'm saying? Maybe some of the Atlanta Hawks faithful. I think we're the closest ones that seen that the possibility of being optimistic to it. But yes, guys, you can't just go around and just like not get a front office they credit. I got to give them their credit for it right now. The moves that were made. Shout out to Landry Fields, coaching staff and everything. These boys playing hard. Shout out to Quin Snyder.
Hey man, Landry Fields, man, shout out to him, man, because he was taking some serious bullets last year, man, and for him to come out to where he has to execute that trade that he did to send DeJounte to NO. In return, we got Dyson Daniel and a 1st-round draft pick, and on top of that, we signed Jalen Johnson. He signed Jalen Johnson to a very, very cat-friendly contract, man. So like I said, man, big time shout out to Landry Fields, man. He's making his way to be one of better general managers in the association, and I think he's one of the better general managers in Atlanta. How about that? A general manager in Atlanta knows what the hell he's doing. Sorry, bro.
Hey, you heard it from Debo, man.
How about that? General manager is scared, dude. No, let's go ahead and get to the Lakers. Let's get the Lakers game, bro.
Oh, you say, man, that's why it's Debo vibes over there. You see the vibe that he on, but. Last thing that we got before we close it out is X Factors versus the Lakers. Who the X Factors, man? I'm gonna give my real quick. It's not gonna be long. First of all, for the Lakers. Well, wait a minute. Debo, you got some info about the Lakers, don't you?
Okay, I got breaking news for you, bro.
What you got?
We got some breaking news right here now. Now, as far as tomorrow's game with the Lakers being at State Farm, LeBron James is listed as questionable. He has a left foot soreness, and Austin Reeves is going to be out of the game due to left pelvic contusion. So no Austin Reeves and no LeBron James. That particular LeBron's questionable. You know what I mean? So anybody looking for LeBron, tomorrow at State Farm and Friday night, it's going to be a 50-50 shot if you see him or not.
Oh yeah. Dixon, like, was that a shot at Terry Debo? And then he said, if so, I agree 200%.
Let me my blood pressure up just thinking about that, man. Let's get back to the damn Laker game, bro. Cause that man, yeah.
Hey, against the Lakers, first of all, even if LeBron plays or not, I mean, you got to stop LeBron, of course, but ultimately, I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis is somebody that you're going to have to look out for, especially around in the painted area. We're going to have to box out. We're going to have to rotate when he's trying to crash on the boards. Keep him and Rui Hachimura, but definitely AD off the boards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make it slow for him. Make it a slow game. Make it a tough game for him. Our bigs are going to be challenged against him because at the end of the day, he's still a top NBA player, and you got to account for that. On the other side for the Hawks, I'm gonna go with Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson being the X factor versus the Lakers. Man, this is a time to submit yourself against one of the great legendary franchises and against a legendary player. So being on the floor with a legendary player such as like LeBron James and a great NBA player in AD. So this is a chance for Jalen Johnson to submit himself, into an all-star conversation early. Right here. I would love for another 20-10 game from Jalen Johnson. Hey, if he gets a triple-double, so be it. But Jalen Johnson is my X factor versus the Lakers.
It's going to be interesting to see what Jalen can do after last night's game, man. He had a great game, against the Buccaneers, and then he can double that up with a great game against the Lakers, and then follow that up with a great game against the Nuggets. So, but we're talking about tomorrow's game, and my X factors will be the actual bench, the bench for both teams, man. Like you touched on last night, man. I mean, last night what the bench did, man, they actually had 50 points. You know what I'm talking about? The bench had 50 points. You know how many points the LA Lakers bench had last night? 28. 28 points. And you look at our bench, like I said, man, we got come our bench, man. Bogey, but Bogdanovich, and of course we have Hunter, and we got Inyeka if we need to. The bench is not our bench is way more deep than Lakers bench. Where Lakers bench you have, what is it? Max Christie, Gabe Vincent. Come on. Right. So get some Jags, man. So I think, if it comes down to a bench play where, our bench their bench has to do some things, our bench has to do some things. While our bench is in there, we can do some big time things and allow our stars to rest. When our stars get back to the game, we're looking at a double-digit lead, a lead that can be sustained. And on top of that, man, just go out and win the game, man. But like you touched on, man, it's going to be real interesting to see our guy Jalen Johnson do his thing out there, man.
Yes,
at
sir.
home,
Yes.
and a Friday night at State Farm, man. Come on,
we can do it. Let's go ahead and make it 6 in a row. Debo, man, I want to say thank you for joining me on this, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man, almost went an hour on this guy, man. But please let the people know where they can find you before we catch up.
Yes, sir, man. I'm on YouTube. Man, you can find me on Debo Vibes. I probably post about one show a week where I talk about our adversaries, the opponents that we're playing. And this week we're playing the Minnesota Vikings, and it's going to be a difficult task against that Brian Flores defense. We'll see what happens, man. But answer your question, man. Yep, Debo Vibes on YouTube. Y'all come by, check me out, share me out, all that good stuff. I'm also on Instagram at The Real Debo Vibes, and I'm on X or Twitter at Debo Vibes, man. Come check me out.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you again, Debo, for pulling up on me tonight, man. I know I told you I was gonna get you into the next Hawks
For
recap.
sure.
So, man,
anytime, man. Anytime.
Yes, sir, man. Of course, man. A1 Forever Sports, man. Make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Help your boy get out there in the YouTube algorithm as I'm continuously trying to grow this platform to, you know what I'm saying, 4K, 5K, and beyond. You know,
Yes,
the
sir.
grind don't stop, man. The hustle don't quit. So for myself, for Debo Vibes, man, me and Smitty, we about to jump on a Falcon conversation coming up next, actually. So I'm about to get ready for that. And man, thank you guys for tuning in, man. All the people who did from Twitter, YouTube, man, thank you for joining me and Debo. And until next time, y'all, peace and blessings to you all. And to all, I'll holler.
A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer.